Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for BroadwayWorld. One of this season's most eagerly awaited new musicals is Some Like It Hot, which is based on the classic film. It'll open on December 11th right here at the Shubert Theatre. And I caught up with the show's book writers, Matthew López and Amber Ruffin, at Sardi's.
Like a cool pastoral scene with rolling hills.
I am so excited. We spent last week in your theater, just so you know, interviewing the cast and Casey and Mark and Scott. I cannot wait to be at the Shubert to see your show. Take me back to the beginning. How did you two come about to write this?
Well, I started. I started writing this 7 years ago, I think. 7 years ago, and then you joined about 3.
That's right.
Yeah, and it really was just after about 4 years of working on the show very slowly, because I was doing The Inheritance in London and Mark and Scott were doing Mary Poppins, and it was like we never had time to get together, and so it just took a while. And then there was a certain point where I was like, we're writing this show about women, and we have a black woman in the lead. I'm like, I think maybe we need to open up this collaboration to one more person. And enter Amber.
Yay! Fade in. Amber Ruffin sachets are... No, I'm just kidding. Yes, they called and I thought... I couldn't believe so many heavy hitters had been packed into one friggin' show. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And then it was off to the races after that. We would trade the script back and forth, and we would collaborate together, and then what?
Well, because I was going to say, because it was the pandemic.
Because it was the pandemic.
So we had to do it like pen pals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we were never in a room together for at least a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the fun bit. That was like, going back and forth and never actually being in a room together.
Dearest Mr. Lopez.
Miss Ruffin, I have received the latest draft of Something Like It Hot from you, and I enclose forthwith my revisions and
a
amendments.
lock of my hair.
My amendments. And one of my baby teeth.
Because I was going to say, how much fun have you two had? I can
None.
obviously tell. No, I can tell how much fun you... Like collaborating on this together, seriously, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we're fun.
Yeah.
I do think...
We've been shushed before, you know that, remember?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
Because we talked a lot
It's bad.
while the show's going on.
We're a little loud. But we are also we are kind of the same guy.
Yeah.
We're silly and giggly and loud, but we also want to get it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how people who work and are a little bit in a hurry? Mm-hmm. We're like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it when I say it's really great now, and then I just reserve the right to really mean it again later when I say, that never worked.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we both work.
Yeah.
You really got to commit no matter what. And then really commit to giving it the hip-ho.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of my favorite movies, but you put a whole new spin on this musical, and I was gonna, were you fans of the movie before you became a part of this?
No.
No, I love that, seriously.
No, we were not a Some Like It Hot family. We were a Westerns family. Ooh. That was as old as our movies got.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which ones did you like? Which Westerns?
Ugh, we had to watch.
Do you still like Westerns?
No.
Okay.
I don't care for Westerns, but Dad made us watch it.
I see.
So yes, I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So there's no Western scene in Some Like It Hot.
There's no Western scene in some... Sorry, Dad. There's no Western scene in Some Like It Hot. But no, we weren't a Some Like It Hot family, but Matthew was.
Yeah, my mother, it's one of her favorite movies. And so as a child, I was kind of force-fed. It was like Some Like It Hot, Sunset Boulevard, All About Eve, Cool Hand Luke. Those were the movies that my mother loved, and she was in charge of the movies. And so I think as a kid, I was just sort of like, yeah, whatever. And then as an adult, I came to appreciate the movie, but it's never been one of my favorites. It's never something that I like, oh, it's on, we must watch. I definitely dug it, but I never really sort of loved it.
Yeah. No, that's why I love that you two have written this, because it's not like Die Hard's taking it over. It's like we're going to look at this through fresh eyes, like Casey wanted to do, and Scott and Mark wanted to do.
Yeah. I had thought that I had seen it.
You should never come now.
I had just assumed I had seen it because I'm a human being in America. I feel like you've seen a ton of it, but I don't think a lot of people have sat down and then watched the whole thing. I think people think they've seen it and they haven't.
Oh yeah. So that you think that you never actually saw it until you started working on it?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Okay.
It's those iconic pictures, too, that everybody has seen of Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon, and Marilyn Monroe doing this. Yeah.
Yes, and people say classic lines from the show a lot, so you really do feel it. It is kind of Americana, this movie, and that's why we've worked very hard to recreate.
Demolish it!
I was gonna say to recreate it word for word, shot for shot.
Yes, absolutely. It's like the Gus Van Sant Psycho remake. It's just like there's no reason for it to exist whatsoever. No, we were like that Muppet with the dynamite, and we were just like. Because it's like, I mean, you never get a chance to like take something iconic and beloved and absolutely just sort of like remake it and make it your own. And when I started working on it, my first instinct was to say no, because what I did know about the movie was that it was perfect. And rule number one, don't mess with things that are perfect. And then I watched it and I was like, this ain't perfect. And then like, it's just, and then I was just like, well, that, no. So I was like, so then I went, my first answer was no, I don't want to do this. And then, but it was Mark and Scott, it was Casey, I'm like, And I remember even thinking, can we do something else? And then I watched it again, and I said to the producers, I'll do it if I can completely change everything. If the purists will gasp, then I'm happy. And that's sort of been the journey we've taken. And the thing about it is, I love the image that you use. Can I steal it right now? That it's like still got the same skeleton, but everything else is different.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's the most fun way to do an adaptation, because, I mean, if you just want to recreate the musical, if you want to recreate the movie on stage, well, then you don't need me and Amber for it. And quite honestly, you don't need Mark, Scott, and Casey for it either. Just show the movie and play some music. So we realized that we had an opportunity to make something fresh and brand new and take something familiar. And I think the exercise on this is not to just recreate the movie, but to challenge the movie, to question the movie, and to present an alternative version of what the story could be.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, it's a 2022 story, which I love. What you've done with this, you've taken like the skeleton of it, the sort of the story, the mob story, and you've switched it all up.
Yeah.
What you've enjoyed the most about telling this story now for an audience in 2022?
I love the huge chasm in sensibilities between the movie and what we've done. Like that, because when you see the movie and you're going to write a musical about it, you realize that there's a lot of work that has to be done. And that felt great. Like, how can we take this show and make it reflective of the community that adores Broadway? Like, how can we do that? How can we take this show and make sure everybody can come here and sit down and feel good? Because that's what we want. And I think it's so cool that you can look at these two people and be like, I want to see a show those two idiots wrote. And it's exactly that.
The show that these two idiots wrote.
100%.
Yeah.
Because I would say, what have you two enjoyed the most about collaborating together on this incredible musical?
Going about and not getting any work done for the longest time possible.
We did not.
We worked hard.
We worked
really hard.
We goof around?
We so goofed around.
So much.
Yeah, a lot of goofing around.
Yeah.
But
Experts would call it excessive. Yes, but then some of it made it into the show. And so then retroactively, that was working and not goofing around.
So we could charge the production for all those meals.
Yeah, that's right.
almost finally writing a big Broadway musical, what it means to both of you, because we need a musical like Some Like It Hot right now. And it's right across the street at the Shubert Theatre, what that means to you, what has meant you writing this, and what it means for people to have a great time at the theater now.
The cool thing about writing this show was that we could be inclusive and joyous on purpose. Like, we can bring you here and make you happy on purpose. And, you know, that was our goal, and that's what this show does, is it delivers joy. Yeah.
For me personally, it's all those things that Amber said, and then when they told us that we were going to the Shubert Theatre, for me on a personal note, which is where my Aunt Priscilla did chorus line, that just was, every day I walk into that theater and I am speechless, because I'm just inside that hollowed house, and for me that connection to my family, that connection to my family's history, what I've contributed to the Lopez contribution to American theater that started with my aunt, and to have us share the Shubert Theatre now is such a remarkable thing.
Finally, opening night is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Broadway debut as a musical writer and everything else. I mean, you two, like, what's going through your mind? Opening night, what are you looking forward to the most?
What I'm looking forward to the most on opening night, for real, is everyone's outfits. Yeah. That's number one. Yeah. And then also when everyone takes their bows, and then I cry real bad.
I like that.
Oh, and the overture.
Yeah, I
Those
like the free food. Here's the thing that they don't tell you about your opening night.
Ooh.
That will tell you, like, because I now, you know, like, one show down, I'm a pro. I'm like a grizzled veteran. Make sure there's someone at the party who goes to the buffet and makes you a plate of food.
Okay.
Because it can't be your husband, because your husband's going to be like doing other things. So you have to like find someone. If your agent's there, somebody, they gotta, for me, okay, this is the funniest story ever.
Oh.
Opening night of The Inheritance, I was like here, there, everywhere. I was like, to impress, I was talking to these people. And then John Cameron Mitchell and Glenn Close came up to me, and the first words out of Glenn Close's mouths were, are you hungry? And I was like, yes, Glenn Close, I am hungry. And then Glenn Close and John Cameron Mitchell went over to the buffet, and they brought me a plate of food, and we went into a little corner, and I stood there with Glenn Close and John Cameron Mitchell, and I ate ravioli and talked to them. And so you need a John Cameron Mitchell or a Glenn Close at the party.
Shoot, I've been saying that.
Yeah.
I've been needed a Glenn Close.
You need people to bring you food, because you'll be hungry.
Yay.
That from this grizzled veteran of Broadway who's done it once before. Definitely make sure you eat on opening night.
Eating is my favorite piece of advice.
On opening night, right?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to find you those stars on the red carpet that night. Then I'm going to make sure you get fed that night.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, hi, I'm Amber Ruffin. Could you feed me?